rock. You know, it can withstand all sorts of stuff. But again, it's just Kalle Rovanpera's mechanical sympathy, I think, that's making all the difference here at the Safari Rally.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And a little bit of luck.
Well, yeah. Remember the winner here a couple of years ago, 2022. He's not going to trouble that Evans benchmark, so that will be a stage win for Evans. He did seem a little bit distracted, the Welshman, as he came through, but so it's an 8:33.3, 8.6 seconds slower than his teammates for the rally and leader. And world champion, that's another stage ticked off the list. One to go then on Saturday before he can secure those 18 points. Let's hear from him.
Kalle safely through, down by 8.6 seconds, but I guess you're just taking it easy and being careful?
Yeah, I'm just trying to be extra careful. It feels that even with this low pace, there is still some surprises and more rough parts than what you expect. So yeah, all okay.
Give us an idea of what the next one will be like.
I have no idea. Probably tricky.
So then to WRC2, Gus Greensmith again. Like Rovanpera, I mean, I can't really think of a major issue for Gus other than him being sick as a dog. It's been a remarkable run for the Brits on a rally he really does love. Remember, claimed his best ever finish here in Rally 1 level, of course, in 4th place a few years back. And it's been an interesting one, isn't it? Oliver Solberg, he's got the bit between his teeth. I mean, we're all sort of thinking, what are you doing? You know, was it 3-minute lead? But he started to nibble away a little bit. But I don't think it's going to trouble Gus just yet. He's certainly got it a little bit in hand. 5.5 seconds only dropped in the previous one. It's still well over 2 minutes. But fair play to Oliver. He's trying to put the pressure on, or keep the pressure on.
Yeah, Oliver's getting stuck into to try and reel in Gus. Again, I don't think he can do it on pace alone, but it's all about putting the pressure on, as you said. And there's Gus's dad, Charles, and Chris Patterson, you know, former co-driver.
Christian Solberg there as well.
Yeah, so nearest the camera there with a big smile on his face was Christian Solberg, and you had Charles and Chris Patterson in the background, who was co-driver, of course, to Petter Solberg. So Gus Greensmith with good people around him, and all that stuff pays off, doesn't it? It's you know, having all that experience and those wise words in your ears make a big difference. But for me, I think Gus is just, because he's poorly, he's not well. He's really struggling to, you know, he's got a tummy upset, so he's struggling to remain hydrated and everything else. So I think what he's done has been, you know, phenomenal. He's kept that car, you know, on the straight and narrow, hasn't run into any issues at all. He's just doing what he needs to do now.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just watch him now through these final few kilometres. Got a couple of split timers then for these early runners. Kaito Katanovic into the stage as well. The pole is 10 seconds down on Gus at that first split. But yeah, Kaito the winner here the last 2 years, of course. We'll see him shortly, but currently in 3rd place after conceding his second position to Oliver earlier today.
Obviously stark differences between the WRC2 cars and the Rally 1 cars as well. One being obviously the ride height and everything else. In fact, within the class, the Skoda can does run just a little bit higher than the Hyundai as well, and that's a bit of an advantage here. But obviously you've got power, slightly different tyre as well. So yeah, a different machine altogether.
Yeah, so Gus completes. It's a 9:05.2 for the current leader. Got a first split as well for Oliver Solberg, just 1 second down. Here is Kaito then. Szczepaniak alongside. You knew it was going to be a big ask to stay with these front two. Let's hear from Gus, see how he's feeling this afternoon.
Gus safely through the second one of the afternoon, and the guys behind you are slower on the split so far, so how did you find it?
It was okay, yeah. Spent the morning just trying to protect the lead as much as we could. Seeing how bad Oliver's morning was yesterday, we thought if we've got such a big lead, we need to protect it, and then this afternoon we could step it up now when we know where the bad sections are. So yeah, just a big one to go.
Are you discovering what you're made of, being able to compete with this sickness that you have?
To be honest, I actually feel a little bit better now, so
You look better.
it's going in the right direction.
Good, enjoy the next one.
Well, that's good to hear.
I think that's the first time we've seen Gus smiling as well at the end of the stage. He's looked so withdrawn, hasn't he, at the end of the stage? It's so, like, all his energy's been used up, so that's great. He's starting to feel a bit better.
To be fair, it's so warm in these stages and inside the cars. He's probably sweated it all out of his system. It's yeah, it's been really rough for him, so fair play to Gus, and that is great news to hear that he's starting to move in the right direction in terms of feeling a bit more positive. Interesting comments as well that, you know, he obviously did lose big chunks of time to Oliver this morning, but because he had that big buffer, he was able to just really pay attention and check those pace notes for this afternoon loop, and I think we're now seeing that reflected. So yeah, clever.
Yeah, absolutely, just driving smart. I mean, obviously he had that puncture as well, which didn't help matters this morning. You know, the very first stage this morning, he dropped 37 seconds to Oliver with a rear right puncture. But yeah, you know, as you said, when you've got that buffer, you can almost use the first run as a bit of a glorified testing session, if you like. Really check the notes and make notes where it's rough, where to take it easy, where you can then step it up a little bit, wind it on a little bit, and obviously that's what Gus is doing, having a bit more of a go this afternoon. So yeah, a good strategy.
Yeah, Kaito has played a pretty clever game as well, got himself in a really comfortable podium position. The hat-trick of wins may not be on, but yeah, if those two at the front do start getting a bit carried away, he's sitting there nicely, but yeah, he's been playing a very clever game again. Just a reminder, those flashing lights just to warn off any wildlife, because obviously there is so many animals around these savannas. Mostly they'll be sort of scared off, I think, by the noise of the rally cars, but yeah, that's what those flashing lights are there for.
Yeah, by regulation they have to have something to warn off the animals, and either a horn or flashing lights or something like that. A lot of the Rally 1 cars running an extremely loud horn to just warn off any animals if they do get close. So yeah, again, another unique part of coming rallying here in Kenya.
Yeah, absolutely. So Kaito blasting on very close now towards the flying finish. 9:05.2 for Gus Greensmith. He's clearly not going to trouble that. Let's see how close he can get. 17.9 the last split. Yeah, he's losing a pretty regular sort of couple of seconds every stage, but another stage completed crucially for Kaito as he seeks to claim another podium finish. 20.1 seconds off Gus's benchmark. And here's been the star of the morning loop, I think, in this class. Oliver Solberg and Elliot Edmondson. Another man who was very sick at the start of the weekend, but he managed to shake it off, I think, just after shakedown. Let's hear from Kaito.
Kaito, just one to go after this one, but tell us a good story from in here.
Good story. I thought it's not possible to have a fun when you are not pushing in 100%. But it's not true. Yeah, you can have a fun if you are not pushing in 100%. This one was very smooth for us. Yeah, all good.
Yeah, he's always got a smile on his face. Yeah, so you can still have fun when you're not attacking. Just wanted to reiterate, of course, it is the first outing Kaitanovic has had this year. We've seen it the same number of times over the last couple of years. His sort of steady Eddie approach has often kept him consistently in the running to the back end of the WRC Championships the last couple of years. And another podium start. There's Peter Solberg, 2003 world champion, of course. Watching on, Manila here as well. They follow Oliver through most of it on every round. Of course, teammates, of course, are Gus and Oliver, and a long way to go, but we're all sort of thinking, is this going to be the start of I say it every year, certainly last year, it just feels like the 3, 4, 5, even 6 drivers that could still be in the hunt in that championship fight.
Yeah, there's so much competition in WRC2, and you know, we were talking about it when we were commentating on this exact stage this morning as well, PK, that had Oliver not had those problems, there'd be not a lot to choose between himself and Gus Greensmith, and you can see that here, you know, exactly a 1/10 of a second at 11.39 kilometers. Fast forward 2 kilometers, and it's still 1/10 of a second between them. So, you know, nothing to choose between Gus Greensmith and Oliver Solberg. And listen, if Oliver Solberg finishes second this weekend here at Safari Rally, that's not a problem for his championship. That's a good thing as well. You know, he'll be delighted to take those championship points away. Frustrated, obviously, that he did pick up those day one punctures, but has fought his way back up into second place, and just Gus Greensmith ahead of him now. But if it stays as it is, with Gus taking maximum championship points and Oliver finishing second, that's still a good haul of points for his championship as well.
Yeah, so just 0.6 of a second then, slower than his teammate, 9:05.8. But yeah, as you say, really good run. This on the back of, course, winning on home soil in Sweden 6 weeks ago. So really strong starts. It's Gus's first outing, of course, of the season. Let's hear from Oliver then, see how he's feeling this afternoon.
Oliver, just 0.6 of a second down on Gus in there. Tell us, how much are you pushing this afternoon?
No, not really. I mean, I did a mistake in there, and there was a rock on the line there. Just saw it, but I hit it, so I think it's okay, but I don't know.
Everything looks okay, but does the car feel strange to drive?
No, it feels okay, but I hear some rattling, so we'll see. We'll see, but I think overall it's been an okay day. So.
Good luck for the next one.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? I can imagine when you have a moment like that, you hit something, you'll hear all sorts of noises that may not even be real, but I guess you fear the worst, don't you?
When you hit something, it takes your mind straight away off concentrating on driving quickly, and then you're starting to look for an issue. You're waiting for an issue to come of, have I picked up a puncture? What are the repercussions of having hit that rock? And the other thing I would say is those rocks are kind of certainly after the first run, they're sort of buried in the line now. So because it is quite rutted and there is so much dust and fesh, it's very, very difficult in these conditions to pick out where the rocks are. So, and that's what Oliver's saying. He just saw it at the last minute and then bang.
It's a bit harsh of himself to call it a mistake, isn't it? But it's interesting, isn't it? You hear that, and we saw with Voigt Tanak yesterday. Sometimes, if you see it there in the racing line, you're better to just go over the middle of it. I mean, it didn't work for Voigt in the end because it was too big. But do you know what I mean? Sometimes if you try and avoid it, you might clip it and pick up a puncture. But it's a difficult one to call, and it didn't work out, obviously, for Voigt yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, it was. I think what we saw with Voigt yesterday was him just being a total passenger, wasn't he? Yeah, he just had nowhere to go, and it was a big rock, and there was nothing he could do. He was actually on the way out of the corner. He'd already picked his line on the way in, but on stages like this, and Oliver's referring to, there's just nothing you can do about it. You see it at the last minute, and then you just collect it. But it's the mindset that comes afterwards. You might have been in a really good flow, but then you're almost waiting for to be an issue. You're concentrating then on, have I got a puncture? Have I got this? Have I got that? And you step out of that mindset of being, that flow state of driving quickly.
I'm only just noticing that she did see a front left puncher for Oliver just as he pulled away. So, yeah, that's a pretty impressive time there, considering. Well, maybe that was picked up by that collision with the rock. So, yeah, fingers crossed there's nothing technically wrong as we watch Nicolas Siermin, the Frenchman, having a wonderful Safari debut this weekend. He's running in 4th place, a long way behind Katanovic, but what a wonderful way to make your debut in Africa, and on the back of exactly the same finish that he managed in Monte Carlo, if he can maintain this. Very sensible, some of these young guys, and they sort of come in and they know what they need to do. That's another good run from Siermin. Yeah, came here for experience and a few points, and well, so far, fingers crossed, it's exactly what he's getting. So we've lost one Munster today in the shape of Gregoire, but we've still got another. Charles Munster, younger brother, 3 years his junior, making his WRC debut, or WRC Rally debut, in the Rally 2 category. And let's hear from Siermin.
Nicola, another one completed. Did it feel better than your first run through here?
Yeah, we enjoyed those last 2 stages. Good push, but yeah, still a lot to learn in driving-wise, but also cautious in places. At the moment, it was very nice. We were side by side with the helicopter, and he was almost at the same height as us. So I saw him on my left side. It was very nice.
You'll have to watch that back.
Yeah, maybe I will.
Yeah, he's absolutely relishing this African experience, as I think everybody does when they first come here. It really is unlike anywhere else on Earth, and well, certainly in the World Championship that we have, and that's why we love these challenges. And talking of people who are making a very impressive Safari debut, or even WRC debut, Charles Munster on for a top 5 finish. He's actually only 39 seconds behind Siamin. He's the man from Luxembourg. We're hoping. I think we've confirmed actually, haven't we, that we're going to see his brother restart tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean those issues we saw with Gregoire Munster. He worked by the side of the road on that M Sport Puma for a long time. Couldn't get it sorted. The team came out, fixed it, and he drove it back to service. So yeah, Gregoire will be back out again tomorrow. Very unfortunate, but his brother Charles here doing a spectacular job. He's been so mature with his approach, as you say, PK. His first WRC event, and doing it here at the Safari Rally. Yeah, he has been very mature, and he had a bit of a wake-up call on the first run through the Sleeping Warrior test. That's the next stage to come as well, and very difficult conditions. But Charles Munster has been told to look after that car. You can actually, see the Sleeping Warrior just in the distance.
I was going to say that is the mountain, isn't it, in the distance? And I'm sorry to say, Chetty. Sorry to say, Chetty. I'm getting some information through. It's actually sunny on Sleeping Warrior at the moment, so the threat of rain has receded for now.
Give it chance. In the meantime, those heli shots are absolutely unbelievable, aren't they? Yeah. That is just stunning. I mean, they've just given us some phenomenal shots, and the way he just dipped that down and pulled up right at the last minute. Give that man a Toblerone. That is impressive.
Yeah, incredible stuff from the eye in the sky as they continue to chase him as low as they can. It really is terrific work. And yeah, Charles Munster then, he's bearing down on the finish line. You can see he's not going to get close. It is going to be another stage win for Gus Greensmith. Let's just see what he ends up with. It's 41 seconds down on that benchmark. Impressive benchmark. Another stage win for Gus Greensmith, and he's also dropped another 16 seconds for Siamin, but it won't worry him one bit. A little bit dusty inside the car, but not too bad. He's a really bright young man, just 22 years old. You imagine doing this at 22 years old on your Safari debut. Quite incredible. Hyundai i20 Rally 2, of course. So let's hear from Charles.
Charles, well done. That's another stage completed. Did you enjoy getting chased by the helicopter?
Yeah, I saw it. It was nice. It's just we are full in dust, so it's quite complicated to see, but it's okay.
Is it more than before?
Yeah, this loop is even more than the rest of the rally for now, but we will manage it.
Smells of clutch.
So there, now another wonderful run for Munster, and it was another wonderful run as well, of course, for Elfyn Evans. Another stage win for the Welshman as he seeks to see what he can do at the top of the leaderboard. Obviously got Adrian Formeau in his sights. There's Sleeping Warrior. That's where we're heading next. Wonderful scenes. Just confirmation then. Look how tight it was. Wait, Tannock's second fastest, just a second slower. Another wonderful run from Formeau, 2.9 seconds down. Then Katsuta, Rovanperä, Espek and Lappi. Another stage win for Gus Greensmith, who's turned on the afterburners this afternoon. And Thierry Neuville, you saw at the bottom of your screen, dropping 7 minutes or so in there. But it's still this man, Kalle Rovanperä, with all the carnage ensuing behind him. He just sails on through these stages, and it's looking like certainly odds-on favourite now with that 2 minutes and 17-second lead. Taka Katsuta in second, Adrian Formeau in third. So Elfyn Evans 42 seconds to make up. Thierry Neuville still crucially in fifth place, but Gus Greensmith 2 minutes behind. But crucially, we need to follow Thierry Neuville as he now tries to move on to Sleeping Warrior. It's a bit of an epic stage of 36 kilometres, and let's hope he can get to the bottom of those technical issues. And been a wonderful day as well for Adrian Formeau, and I think it'll be a nice time to hear from his team boss. A very proud, I'm sure, Rich Milliner, who's back here at the Naivasha Service Park.
Rich, you said that you would be here next time Adrian got on a podium or next time he won. This is looking good at the moment. We've got to keep it calm, but it's looking promising.
Yeah, certainly going as we would hope, but you know, just seeing what's happened already this afternoon, I don't take anything for granted at the moment. So he's doing a fantastic job, but it's a massive day tomorrow as well, and one of the toughest stages to come now after what we saw this morning. So still very apprehensive about everything, if I'm honest.
I know you're heading off to the stages, so enjoy it.
Thank you.
Yeah, great to hear from Rich once again. It's been a typically sensational Safari Saturday. The final daunting pass through Sleeping Warrior is still to come as we look ahead to Super Sunday. Maximum 12 points available for the championship chasers, remember. Make sure you stay with us for the thrilling finale. But for now, it's goodbye.